Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be talking about Cancer season and pulling some cards to get a feel for the energies and what we might be able to expect as we navigate the next astrological month. Cancer season begins on June 21st and completes on July 21st. And then we will be entering Leo season on the 22nd. This is a really beautiful energy that we're moving into. Cancer is the fourth sign in the zodiac. It is the first water sign. All right, so we're working with cardinal water. Cancer is a very intuitive energy. It's an energy that represents and rules the fourth house and is ruled by the moon. All right, so Cancer represents our feminine aspects in a lot of ways. It represents the home, the hearth, our roots. And so as we move through Cancer season, we may be navigating or working with some of those energies. The home is going to be very important to us. Our security, our safety, the places where we feel comfortable, the places and the ways that we feel loved, appreciated, and nurtured. Sometimes when we're working with the energy of Cancer and moving through this season, we have childhood things that come up. We have some of those deeper wounds that come up for healing. And Cancer, being a water sign, is all about feeling. So we're really being encouraged to work with our feelings as well as our intuition as we move through this season. And whatever is unearthed during this season, we can trust that we are ready to see, we are ready to deal with, and we are ready to heal. We are going to be seeking that connection with other people, but we're also going to be seeking that connection with ourselves. And that's the most important thing to really remember to nurture as we're moving through this energy. When we're working with the energy of Cancer or the axis of Cancer and Capricorn, Capricorn being the polarity or the opposing sign, if you will, to the Cancer energy, we are working with the axis of the self, of the I was going to say the self versus the other, but that's more the Aries Libra axis. But we're working with the home versus like the outer world, the outer life, right? And so this Cancer energy is the more feminine. And the Capricorn energy is the more masculine, even though being an earth sign, Capricorn is technically considered a feminine sign. I consider it like the mother-father energy. So as we're working with this axis, and particularly this Cancer energy, we're working with that energy of learning how to parent ourselves, how to reparent ourselves, how to heal any of those wounds or those energies from our childhood where we felt that we weren't necessarily nurtured properly, where we perhaps felt a lack of love. This Cancer season energy is really asking us to practice self-care and to practice loving ourselves and to really look at what that looks like and what that feels like. It's about understanding that line when we're working with the energy of nurturing, right? Cancer is the archetypal mother. And so how is it that we nurture others? And how is it that we nurture ourselves? And where do we find that balance? Are we capable of nurturing and mothering and caring for ourselves? Anybody who has strong placements along this Cancer-Capricorn axis, this is an energy that you're going to be very familiar with and working with throughout the lifetime. And I can relate to this myself, being a Cancer rising. It's that energy of really learning how to be self-sufficient. And Cancer energy, of course, it is, like we said, very, very gentle, very loving, very nurturing. But it's also represented by the crab. And so there are going to be times during Cancer season where we do want to curl back up into that shell a little bit. And so it's finding that balance between socializing with others, being out in the world, and also coming back to the self, being at home within the self. And yeah, that's what I'm feeling as a big area of focus during this Cancer season for many is going to be, do you feel at home within yourself? Right? A lot of times when we think about Cancer energy, we're thinking about the outer home, right? Our living environment. But what about the home within you? Can you feel at home within yourself, wherever it is that you go? Are you comfortable in your own skin, in your own shell, so to speak? And so some of us, we may be retreating into that shell and we want to pay attention to what we find there. Are we comfortable sitting with ourselves? when we sit with ourselves, do things start coming to the surface, and do we then try to run from those things? Or are we willing to stay and observe and experience those things? All right, because there is going to be a great call for that, so that each and every single one of us can learn what it is to feel at home within ourselves, right? To understand that balance of extroversion and introversion, of self-care and care and nurturance for others. I'm trying to think of what else we want to cover. There is a deeply intuitive nature to Cancer energy. And so our intuition is likely going to be heightened as we move through this. We're really working with that feminine essence, like we talked about, that beautiful divine feminine essence and energy. And so really cultivating that, understanding the properties and the strength of this beautiful feminine energy, right? This energy of being receptive, of being open, and really working with that. And I'm also feeling, and I tried to keep going with the one subject, and then I lost what was wanting to come through. So I'm trying to, let me see if I can recover that energy for you guys real quick. So we're talking about our intuition. We're talking about developing our beautiful divine feminine characteristics, right? Being receptive, being open, learning how to flow, right? Learning how to express that energy, to express our vulnerability, right? And we're really learning about and working with what makes us feel safe. What do we need to feel safe? What do we need to feel emotionally fulfilled, to feel emotionally stable? We're also working with, this is what it was. We're working with the cycles of our lives, cycles and seasons within our creation process, within every aspect of our being. Cancer is ruled by the moon. And so Cancer goes through seasons and cycles. This is why Cancers can sometimes be represented as being a bit moody, right? Because we really are ruled by that moon energy, and the moon changes signs every 2 to 3 days, right? So we're constantly cycling through different experiences. And one thing that Cancer energy wants us to understand is that while we want to experience and express our emotions, we also want to understand that our emotions are fluid, right? Our emotions shift and change just as the phases of the moon do. And so we don't want to be making reactive decisions from a place of emotionality. And we don't want to be basing our perception or our experiences on what we're feeling, because those feelings are constantly going to be shifting and changing. So we want to, yes, acknowledge and honor our feelings, use them as a barometer for where we're at, but we don't want to put too much importance on them, because we want to understand that they're always ebbing and flowing. Every aspect of our lives is always ebbing and flowing. There's a cycle, and we're at different points in that cycle at all different times. So it's all about honoring the place of the cycle that we are in, honoring our emotions, honoring our feelings, but not submerging in them to the point where we're drowning in them, right? We want to be able to find, once again, and have that balance. Cancer energy is very subjective, right? Cancer energy is very much lives in, as many of the water signs do, right? Really all the water signs to one extent or another, kind of lives in its own world. Cancer is more comfortable in the fantasy realms, right? In the daydream or the dream time. And we may find that we're having some very interesting dreams around Cancer season. And that's where, once again, that balance with the axis with Capricorn comes in, right? Capricorn is what brings all of that beautiful, dreamy energy into a practical, applied sense, right? So we're working with that, and we're really beginning to understand. We're allowing ourselves to dream during Cancer season, but then we're understanding how to bring those dreams into reality, and some of that energy also comes forward as we move into Leo season. All right, what do I want to start with? I want to start with the Shaman's Dream Oracle for you guys today. Speaking about the dream time, so let's get into this. Let's get some guidance for Cancer season from the Shaman's Dream Oracle. Clear. Cancer energy is very intuitive, as we said. It is very perceptive. Cancer is the energy of the empath. So all of my empaths out there, We are going to be probably very deep in our fields during Cancer season, and possibly deep in the fields of others as well. So we want to keep those shields strong. We want to make sure that we're not taking on other people's energies. And we want to make sure that we are finding a way to take responsibility and take ownership for our own energies as well. All right. What guidance are we going to get from the Shaman's Dream Oracle here? Interesting. So we have the Covenant or Sacred Contract coming out. And this is coming out with the Stranger, Curiosity. All right, let me see what we feel about these cards here. We have the Winter's Dream on the bottom of the deck, Gestation Period. So this is really the energy to what this feels like to me is that we made a sacred covenant or contract on a soul level to explore in some area of life. There's something unknown that's calling to us. Some unknown adventure, some unknown landscape. This could just be the area outside of our comfort zone calling to us, even, if you will. But there's some sort of contract that we made to explore the aspects of life and of the world that we hadn't yet. Like there's something that we came here to do that really is requiring a leap outside of our comfort zone. And during Cancer season, we're really gonna be confronted with that, whatever that thing is for each and every single one of us. And this is how our soul's gonna grow the most next, is by really stepping into this outside of our comfort zone. And it makes sense that this is coming up during Cancer season, right? Because that's all about the comfort zone. Cancer lives in that comfort zone. All right? But we're being asked to step outside of that. To step into the unknown. There's something calling to us, some aspect of our soul's journey that it's time for us to embark on, whether we feel ready or not. And I think for many people, there is this energy of feeling not ready. Then we have 5, closing door, completion. Something is ending, something is completing. A cycle, right? We were talking about cycles and phases. There is a cycle of your life. There's a phase of your life that's coming to completion. And you're being asked now to embrace that change and to step into the unknown. To now move forward into this place of discomfort where your soul is now able to experience the most growth. Something exotic. There's like an exotic energy to this. Something exotic is calling to you. And it doesn't necessarily mean what some of us may think of when we hear the word exotic. Exotic just means foreign to you. Right? But there's an allure to it. I mean, look at this card. This could be like on a tarot deck. This could very much be like a magician card, right? It's that energy of I am a stranger to myself. All right, let's see what else wants to come up here. Let's get into this some more. We have the jeweled web, connectivity. And so we're being reminded as we move through Cancer season that nothing happens by accident, right? And everything is connected. So we're being asked to notice the connectivity of things, to notice and pay attention to the signs and synchronicities, And it's really interesting. I feel like what I'm thinking about right now too is the whole 5 degrees of separation thing, right? Or 3 degrees of separation or whatever it is. And that's like this connectivity thing too. It's like, you know how you meet somebody at some point and then you get to talking and you find out that you know a lot of the same people, right? That you've been to a lot of the same places. And you have that funny moment where you're like, I can't believe we haven't met yet. It's like that energy coming through as well. Yeah, so for some of you, it's like you're meeting these people who are new to you in this lifetime, but not new. Who are meant to aid you in this next phase of your soul's journey. But there's like things that you have to let go and things that you have to release in order for this energy to come in. And you have to be out and moving around. You know, like you have to be getting yourself out there in order to experience this connectivity, in order to experience the synchronicity and the way that the universe is going to line things up for you so that you meet the people you're supposed to meet and you have the experiences that you're supposed to have next. And I think that this is a good reminder because during Cancer season, a lot of us feel like we want to, like we said, retract into that shell more. We can be very sensitive during Cancer season, right? In these Cancer energies. And so if our feelings get hurt, we're more likely to curl up into that shell, right? To go on the defensive. And so we're being asked not to do that. We're being asked to navigate our reality with a level of curiosity. So really to retain some of that Gemini energy, right? That energy of curiosity, that energy of that social energy. Nothing that's happening right now is happening by accident. It is all very, very highly synchronized in order to bring in the experiences that you need next, the experiences that your soul wanted you to have. There are new, like we said, new soul contracts, right? Coming into play. But more than that, like we said, it's your contract with life. The sacred contract that your soul made when it came down here as to what you personally wanted to experience. It's time to really, we're all being called to take action where it is to complete the things that need to be completed, the cycles and the lessons that need to be completed so our soul can continue to grow and evolve. Because the old cycles that we were in, there's no more growth and evolution left there. All right, there's nothing to do except close the door. When one door closes, another opens. Then we have the hollow bone, teachability. And the vanishing mirror, ego sublimation. So we're really being asked, and this is where that curiosity energy comes in too, right? We're being asked to release and let go of what we think we know so that we can learn something new. This may be a time during Cancer season for some where new mentors come into the picture. Right? Your new people who want to teach you, who you can learn from. And there's this energy of surrendering pride and ego in order to become teachable again. And this is, once again, we come back to this energy, right? This energy of being a stranger to ourselves. It's okay to be a stranger to yourself. It's okay to not know who you are. It's actually preferable because that means you're evolving. Yet we're being asked to be really open And to really, like we've talked about all the time, right? Release all those stories about who you are, about what you're capable of, right? Pay a close attention, especially if you find yourself saying things like, I always, or I never, or they always, they never. When you're speaking in absolutes, be really aware of the I am statements that you're making in general. I am this, I do that. I've always done this, right? No, we want to get rid of all of that talk and all of that thinking. We want to become as hollow and open and clear of a channel as we can be. Our egos are really going to be challenged for some during Cancer season. And remember, our ego is a safety mechanism, right? And so there's a lot of this energy of really shaking us out of our comfort zone. We have the falling angel, spiritual narcolepsy. Yeah. We're really going to be shown where it is that we've fallen asleep spiritually. Where it is that we've fallen back into the dream, right? But without being the lucid dreamer. All right, this is like when you're in the dream and you don't realize that you're dreaming. All right, really falling back into it. And many of us, there's this energy where we're going to come to realize during Cancer season that we thought we were awake and aware, but we were actually asleep the whole time. Right? We got so comfortable in our awareness that we didn't even see or realize that if we were practicing a spiritual routine, we were just going through the motions. All right? And if we were learning and gaining awareness, we still weren't utilizing it. We weren't doing anything with it. We weren't applying it. And so there's this energy of really kind of having to relearn, becoming a brand new spiritual students. And we're relearning the power. We got Eye of the Needle, intentionality on the bottom of the deck. Isn't that a gorgeous card? We're relearning this art of intention, of really setting our focus and our intention. Really we're being woken back up from the dream. And we're realizing that what we thought was us practicing our spirituality and living our spirituality was really like we were sleepwalking. We didn't even realize. I guess that would be a good way to put it. Then we have Spirit of the River. Movement toward adventure. This is what we're being called to do with the Horseman, Herald of Change on the bottom of the deck. Move toward adventure. Move toward the unknown. Move toward that which scares you the most. That's what we're being called to do right now. Because there is adventure waiting for you. There is a whole new phase of your journey that wants to open up for you. But you have to be open. You have to be open to it. We have Overflow and Caterpillar coming out. Oh, these cards are so gorgeous. And so this is all about abundance, right? The overflow. And the Caterpillar is all about opportunity. So there are fantastic opportunities here for you to grow and evolve. And these opportunities, like we said, they are going to be adventures. They are going to push us outside of our comfort zone. They are going to perhaps present themselves as the opposite, but we have to be able to see the opportunity in every event, in every circumstance. Even if things are not going the way that we wanted them to, or we feel like we're getting thrown a curveball. And then I love this. We have the Cosmic Womb, Divine Feminine on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like this Cancer season, we want to allow ourselves to be pushed out of that comfort zone, right? We want to move toward the adventure, toward the new. We want to be open and teachable. But we also want to be able to balance that, like we said, with taking that time to go within and to replenish ourselves. It feels like it's like a spiritual elixir or replenishment that we're all going to be experiencing. Yeah, I want to pull a couple Earth Magic cards too, actually. So we're going to pull a couple of these. Cancer season. Clear. Tell me about Cancer season. We got Vision Quest Desert coming out. And Dragonfly Emergence. So during Cancer season, some people may be called to take a vision quest. Whether this is literally going out into the wilderness, climbing to the top of a mountain and fasting, or working with plant medicine, or whether this is just like a deep meditation or some sort of road trip, or whatever it is, it's going to look different for everyone. But we're being asked to go inside, to go on this vision quest, however it is that we feel we can achieve this energy. Because there's something really beautiful and transformative that wants to emerge within us, that wants to be revealed within us, and we're only going to find it if we take that time to go on that quest, to go on that journey. And if you're called to do this, you'll feel it. You'll feel it. Yeah. And then we have Autumnal Equinox release coming out with rain purification. So there's a major purging and purification and release that wants to happen. And that's going to happen during this energy. On the bottom of the deck, we have solitude. All right. And after that comes movement. All right. But we have to take that time to go within. We have to allow the cleansing that wants to occur, the purification and release that wants to happen. I'm feeling sweat lodges for some people. I'm feeling, I don't know, it's going to work in a whole bunch of different ways, but it's like you have to purge, you have to feel it in order to heal it. You have to go into it. And you will emerge from this experience a much wiser person. But whatever this vision quest is, it's like we're being asked to approach this with an open mind as well. Not thinking that we know exactly what the outcome's going to be, right? Or exactly what it is that we need. All right, we want to go into every situation that we can as we're moving through right now with no expectation, right? Expecting and asking and requesting for the highest and best good, right? For that which is for our highest and best good to transpire in our lives next with ease and grace. My friend Glenn Jones, Clear, has a quote that says something like that. That's the gist of it anyway. But with that is the only expectation. All right? Don't go in thinking that you know everything. In any avenue of our lives right now, we're being asked to let go of what we think we know and to operate with this level of love and compassion. But this is love and compassion for ourselves more than anyone or anything else. Yep. Got vulnerability and power under that. I want to pull a messenger oracle. Clear. All right, let's get a message for the collective for which I channel for Cancer season. What message wants to come through for the collective, this collective? We have Know You Belong coming out. And we also have Heed the Messengers. This card was in reverse. We'll feel into whether that matters or not. But this Know You Belong, this is important. Some of the childhood wounds that may be coming up for some people during this Cancer season of 2022 may have to do with like feeling like you belong. Feeling like you're a part of. And any of the wounds where in the past or present we felt like we were not a part of. Like we didn't belong. Wondering where it is that we do belong. Where it is that we do fit in. And so the universe wants you to know that you are special, that you are important, and that you belong everywhere that you are. Right? Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be there. Let me see. I want to read this for people. If I can find it. Because I feel like there might be something in the cards reading itself that somebody needs to hear. Here we go. You have a place. You have purpose. You are special. Do not change who you are just so others might accept you. Do not dishonor your truths by allowing someone else to tell you who you must be. Change made just so you fit the expectations or social criteria of a clique or group does not honor you. You do not need to change in order to belong. You are a blessed child of Gaia and great spirit and simply belong because you are. All right. And that's why Heed the Messengers came out inverted. Don't listen to what other people are saying. Don't put so much stock in what other people think about you, about what you should do, about who you should be, how you should behave. All right. This is about us breaking free of the constraints of the expectations of others. What is your expectation of yourself? Can you live up to that? And is that too high, right? Because sometimes we set really high and unrealistic expectations of ourselves that are so impossible to meet that we're almost set up to feel as though we failed. All right, so we want to pay attention to that too. But we want to know, like, you belong here on this planet or you wouldn't be here right now. All right, there are lines of souls waiting to get onto this earth right now and be a witness to what's happening on this planet. If you are here, it is not an accident. It is not a mistake. All right? But some of the other places that you may be, that you may find yourself, may not be where you're meant to be right now. All right? If you don't fit in somewhere, perhaps you were not meant to. Perhaps that's not the place or the situation or the person for you. All right? And that's okay. All right? We're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. If everybody likes you, it's time to take off the mask. All right? There's going to be situations and there's going to be places where we don't fit. That doesn't mean that we are wrong. It just means that situation is wrong for us. One of my favorite quotes says something like, you don't fit into this world because you came here to create a new one, or something to that effect. All right? And so if you're feeling out of place, if people are trying to change you and asking you to mold yourself in order to make them feel comfortable, or in order to be what they want you to be, maybe it's time to break away from that. All right? Don't listen so much to the chatter of others, to the negative chatter of others, or to your own negative self-talk. All right? It's so funny. I was thinking of this card when I opened this deck. The source of all. All right? This energy is powerful. You are part of source. All right? How could you not be perfect? How could you not be powerful? Reconnect with source. Reconnect with your own inner truth, your own inner vision, and allow that to guide you. Know that source views you as absolutely perfect. All right? You are perfect in the eyes of the Creator. Sit in meditation, ask to see yourself through source's eyes. Know that you are so loved, you are so needed, and you are so necessary. Yeah, reveal your truth. What did we say? If everybody loves you, take off the mask. Be who you truly are. Don't hide. It is so important for each and every single one of us right now to be who we truly are, to embrace who we truly are, and not to hide that, because the world needs that. All right? The world needs you. The world needs you to come exactly as you are. That's what vulnerability means. Showing up exactly as you are. Not trying to be something or someone other than what you are. Not trying to be what you think you should be or what you think others think you should be. All right? Showing up exactly as who you are. You don't have to be perfect in order to be loved. All right? That's a wound that many of us are sifting through right now. When the Creator says you are perfect. All right? But our vision, what we believe and perceive as perfection, is something that society created, right? We're looking at that word from a 3D perspective. The Creator is looking at it from a higher perspective. That each and every one of us is perfect in our flaws and all. Right? With our wounding. With our biases and our perceptions, we are absolutely perfect. The way that you see the world is different from the way everybody else sees it. And that's okay. That's good. We weren't meant to all be the same. We are all one. We come from one energy, but we are not meant to be the same. All right? We are not cookie cutters. There's a way that Source is attempting to express itself through you right now. All right? And that's what that covenant, that contract, that sacred contract means. And it may be a way, the way that Source is wanting to express itself through you is requiring you to show up as who you truly are, in your authenticity. And that can be scary. How interesting is it that us being our true and authentic selves requires us to step outside of our comfort zone? You'd think that being our true and authentic self would be our comfort zone. And it can be once we get used to that. And once we get used to accepting that and not trying to change our authentic self in order to be what we think other people want. Allow Source to express itself through you in the way that Source is wanting to. Allow your soul to express itself through you the way that it would like. That is your truth. This is all about unconditioning ourselves, deconditioning, deprogramming. Follow the moon. I love that for Cancer season, with love and kindness. Follow the moon. Follow your own intuition. Where is it leading you? I feel like for some people, you may actually dream of the moon. You may have dreams in which the moon is present. The moon or the forest or something like that. And it's almost like you're scampering or running through the forest. You're chasing the moon. I think that's an old school classic Wiccan book, I think. It's Drawing Down the Moon. It's something with this energy of the moon. Some people during Cancer season, some people are dreaming of the moon. And the moon is becoming very prevalent in your life in some way. It's wanting to guide you. For others of us, this is like working with your natal moon, understanding your natal moon more. And if you guys want assistance with that, please reach out to me. I will be taking clients for a couple more weeks at least before I go on maternity leave. I'm really learning more about your moon sign, your natal moon, possibly how events are going to be aspecting your natal moon during Cancer season. That may be a way to learn more about yourself and follow the moon. For other people, it's just working with the cycles and seasons of the moon. Working with that new moon in Cancer, right? And we are going to be having a final new moon ceremony before I go on maternity leave. So hopefully I'll see some of you guys for that. But it's like really working with the energy and the power of the moon, of your own moon. and your feminine power. Allowing that to guide you, allowing your subconscious, allowing the moon. It's like meditating with the moon. And allowing the moon to be your guide, your shaman almost, your spirit animal, or your spirit, like that energy that guides you through your own subconscious, because there's something within your own subconscious, some deeper truth that wants to be revealed within your own subconscious. There's a message that your soul wants to deliver to you. And you need to sink into this quiet, contemplative place in order to find it. Really interesting, you guys. I want to pull a couple Zodiac 108 cards to close here. Any more energies for Cancer season here? Oh, and I apologize, you guys. The pain in my hands as I'm moving through this last trimester of my pregnancy gets pretty intense sometimes. What makes it's made it a little difficult to shuffle the cards here. Right. The moon will reveal to you what you need to see, what you need to know, and what you need to see. Your dream time. Really work with your dream time. All right, we have the Phoenix as the first card out here. All right, so transformation, resurgence, resurrection. I love it. The end is just the beginning. That's what the Phoenix card reminds us. The Wheel of Karma, all right? Interesting. So transforming karma during this Cancer season. And really fortuitous circumstances. But these fortuitous circumstances, like we said, they come out of perceived chaos or perceived disaster. It's like the tower energy kind of. And then we have optical illusion. Yeah, things are not what they seem. And so the disasters that and circumstances that we perceive as disasters, the endings that we perceive as like, it's all over, all done for, right? They're not quite what they seem, because they're bringing something positive. There's something beautiful that's coming from what we perceive to be unfortunate circumstances, are actually very fortunate. All right? We want to adjust our perception in order to see that. And there's like the choices that we make during Cancer season are what transform. Like we have there is negative karma, we have the opportunity to transform that by doing something different. Yeah. Destined and fated events disguised as one thing, but being another. And then we have baggage coming out. Let me get one more. We're getting this opportunity to release and let go of our baggage. And the Shooting Star with the Master on the bottom of the deck here, you guys. Yeah. We're getting an opportunity to release a lot of emotional baggage and heavy burdens. We're being able to see these burdens and this baggage for what it is, where perhaps we hadn't been able to clearly perceive of it before. We have 2 7s, 2 8s, and a 9 out on the table, by the way. Yeah. There's incredible luck here, but it's disguised. So we have to be willing to see through the facade. And for some, it may go the other way. There's something that appears as something incredibly lucky, but it's actually not all that it seems. It's like all that glitters is not gold. So we really have to have within us the ability to see through the illusions. But for a lot of people, like I said, I think it's more, the more prevalent energy here is like good luck disguised as bad luck. Gain disguised as loss. And then we have childhood coming out with yoga. So this is all about taking that time out to nurture the inner child, to be playful, all right, to reflect and relax, finding that balance, right? Like we said, the balance between action and inaction. The balance between like extroversion and introversion. There's a deep, deep healing, like we said, that takes this energy all the way back to childhood. So that we can finally move on. Alliances, partnerships. New alliances and partnerships being formed. Give me another card for this blinders, please. Pioneer. The crew's like your tribe, because there's a long journey ahead. There's a long journey ahead, and you're going to need focus in order to navigate it. It's like that energy of it takes a village. And this is also that energy with the blinders of, like we said, releasing that victim mentality. Coming out of wherever we've been in a state of denial, coming out of that denial. Moving on from this energy of being the victim. This energy of playing the victim. Right? This energy of playing it safe. Moving forward with more of your soul tribe, with the support of your soul tribe, out of this victim mentality, out of this energy of just kind of like stumbling in the dark, right? Becoming the master. With this no card, by learning how to set boundaries, by learning how to say yes when it's time to say yes and how to say no when it's time to say no, by accepting and being in the flow and really understanding what it means to be in the flow, to master that energy of being in the flow, right? How that is really a state of active surrender, understanding what it means to actively surrender. Where you're still taking the steps forward that you're guided to take, but you're not trying to control and micromanage the result. You have a goal in mind. You have a purpose. You have a destination, but you're more fluid in how you get there. All right? Trusting when doors are closing and when doors are opening, and not trying to force a door open that wants to close, and not trying to close a door that wants to open. All right, that's being in the flow. That's active surrender. Trusting if the universe says no, that means not yet, or wait, I have something better. And not trying to force something. Not trying to force something to fit that doesn't fit. And that includes yourself in a situation or scenario. There's an incredible amount of growth and new beginnings, right? Ways that we can flourish. But the baby card was inverted as well. And there's this energy of the baby card can also represent neediness, vulnerability. But it's like in reverse, this to me feels like maturing, right? Especially with the Master card here. Growing up. Learning how to accept the no's and the yeses from the universe. Learning how to accept what is and to focus on what it is that we can change. I'm being called to recite the Serenity Prayer from 12-step right now. And oh my God, it's been such a long time. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All right? That's the Master. The Master has the wisdom to know the difference. Are you ready to be the Master? Yeah. Are you ready to leave what wants to be left in the past in the past? Are you ready to embrace the uncertainty and all that that brings, right? In that area of uncertainty, this is where the networks, the organizations, the meetings, right? This card is very reminiscent of this card, is it not? The jeweled web. All right? Everything is wanting to be synchronized, to come into focus and form. It's all contained in the unknown. In your willingness to step into the unknown. We got the roses, the love and the romance. All of that's there too. If you're looking for that, if you're looking for your tribe, if you're looking for support, if you're looking for resources, if you're looking for love, friendship, all of that energy is in the unknown. It's in whatever you've been the most scared to do, to try. That's where everything, that's where all the good stuff is. All right? We have to embrace the change. Have to embrace the change. Right? We have to practice endurance. Balance. Grace. And we have to be willing to be that lone wolf, to stand up for what we believe in. To be who we truly are. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button, drop a comment down below and let me know. If you know somebody who would benefit from this message, feel free to share it. If this is your first time at my channel, welcome. Make sure to click the bell with the little squigglies so you get all the notifications, and subscribe for more videos. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. And my email is also down below with a list of the different services that I offer. I do personal readings. I do different types of energy healings, belief work sessions, all kinds of different stuff. If you feel drawn to me and you want to do any one-on-one work, as I said, I will be doing that. Taking clients for the next couple weeks before I go out on maternity leave. You guys are incredible. I love you so very, very much. And I hope that you have a wonderful Cancer season. I'll talk to you soon.